Before we get started with today's podcast, we'd like to ask returning listeners to leave us a rating or review on your favorite podcast platform, iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. And if you really enjoy it, share a link to this podcast with friends or family who would enjoy hearing our weekly discussions about basketball and basketball culture. Now, on to the show.
Yeah, isn't it amazing when Michigan can keep this game to a 19-foot, 9-inch game inside that three-point line? It's all there. Nice move by Steve Fisher here. Turn it into the 19-9 game.
Welcome to the 99 podcast by HVS. I am Josh Barnett, and I am here with my good friend and 99's graphic designer, and the only person from our posse left, Matt Breivogel. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great.
That's good to hear. Because
It's been a long few days.
it really has. It really has. So we're in the hotel room. We wanted to kind of do a recap podcast since we did the one in Aaron's dining room to kick off this trip that turned out to be the trip from hell that we turned around and made something out of, and had a lot of fun, good times, and then some sadness too, obviously, with March Madness being canceled and Big East being canceled.
March sadness.
It does suck, right?
Yeah.
But we're gonna recap what we did out here and just kind of talk about our experiences, because I feel like we had like a hell of a time out here, and as much shit that went wrong, we had a lot of stuff go right. We met a lot of awesome people. We did a lot of cool things, and we made it as far as right now anyway. So we catch our flight out. What time tomorrow?
9 o'clock about.
Yeah. So
Right in there.
no travel bans yet, none of that stuff. So we'll get out of here. We'll get home, back to our families. It'll be good to see. So when we started this, when we did that pod, it was on Tuesday night, late Tuesday night at Aaron's house. And Wednesday started with us flying into New York. We basically had a little bit of time to drop our stuff, take a quick shower, and then head to the Slam offices, which was amazing.
Yeah, that was awesome, man.
It was cool, man. It was just cool to connect with those dudes. Adam, PRC, and Carl, they were awesome, man. Super, super nice dudes. But how hot was it in that room?
Yeah. At first, I thought this is a fluke that there's no AC in this room. And then they acknowledge it immediately. Like, we were already sweating in there when we get in. We wait for maybe 10 minutes, I guess, but it felt like longer.
I mean, if they had mics in there though,
Oh, yeah.
before they like came in, and the stuff that we were saying, like we started laughing, and that made me sweat like way more. I had to take my jacket off, and then so it was super cool in there though, and we have some pictures of that room. But for whatever reason, it was like 5,000 degrees. We thought we were being like punked or something, or quarantined.
Yeah, it was this great kind of office with glass sides in the middle of this co-working space, which was where their offices were. Super, just this floor of this building that was really well like laid out.
Their layout was
super
dope.
cool. Yeah,
super dope. And the way it was all set up in there and stuff. So we just went to the NBA store. Maybe like 30 minutes before that. Yeah. And you got a Jordan snapback hat.
Yeah.
And so we were sitting in there, for those that are listening that weren't there, obviously. We're sitting there, and Matt is at the head of the table, and he's got the snapback hat on forward, so it has a Jordan brand. Well, I guess Slam was expecting somebody from Jordan brand. I can't remember the name they used,
I can't
though.
remember either.
But they came in, and immediately we like pop up. We kind of recognize PRC, even though we haven't ever met him in person, just over the phone and email. And he says something like Sansa or something, like it's some crazy ass name. And he's like, "Oh, you whatever." And you were kind of like, and he's like, he was like, "From Jordan brand. You're the guy from Jordan brand?" Just because you had that hat on, and he didn't even say anything. He just sat there like starstruck.
That was the last thing I would expect to come out of his mouth when they first come in the room, because I thought they were going to say, "What's up, guys from 1999?"
Yeah, right.
I'm like, Jordan brand, like, sure.
We should have just rolled with it and seen what we got. But after I stood up and said, like, no, it's 1999, PRC was, like, all in there. He's like,
yeah.
oh, yeah. He's like, I forgot. Didn't forget. He was like,
Sure.
we're expecting the dude from Jordan Brand. He's like, I thought they put him in here or whatever.
Oh, man.
But then they never, like, really tried to find the dude from Jordan Brand.
Hopefully
like,
they found those people. They play the game.
after that. So we were able to get in there and knock out that podcast. Big shout out to those guys at Slam. That was like a bucket list thing for me.
And I would say you never know what you're going to expect. We didn't know what their offices would look like, and it just was like this friendly, chill environment. Everybody we got introduced to was just, I don't know, just seemed like such a cool, fun, laid-back crew.
Very laid back. It was funny that so that was Wednesday afternoon. So our meeting with them to do the pod was like 3:30, and so the meeting started like after the intro. Everybody was shaking hands and loving life and all that stuff. And then after the podcast, when it came time to leave, by then like so much news had broke and like there was all that coronavirus scare and different shit getting canceled, and that was the first step where they removed the fans, so that you knew that you could only get to the Garden that night to watch the games, because the rest of the games were going to be fanless before they canceled it all. But by the end of the thing, we were giving elbow bumps to everybody leaving instead of so we went from handshakes to elbow bumps in a matter of like an hour and a half, because all this news,
even though we already shook hands.
Yeah, right. and didn't hand sanitize in between and shit.
Amazing.
So it was funny. Tell the story about the Slam CEO coming, or Slam owner.
Oh yeah, he started the elbow bumping, even though he pops in. This guy just kind of gives some information to interrupt before we got into it.
Well, you thought that they were maybe having a Corona meeting after,
it
or
seemed
something,
like
something
he
like
needed
that.
to tell him something important. He pops head in, and PRC stands up immediately. He's like, "Hey, yeah, guys, this is the founder of Slam or whatever." And I'm like, "Oh, I was excited to say what's up."
Super excited.
And then out of just muscle memory, you stick your hand out to meet somebody, and
He's
he kind of balked. Oh no, he wouldn't touch anything. I was like, "Oh, okay," denied.
And
Smart man.
He was already like so into that mode before any of the rest of us were into that mode, and we've given you shit the rest of the of the trip for it.
Memorable confrontation.
But that place was super dope, man. And again, thank you to the guys at Slam and PRC getting on there about 5-star. Super passionate.
Man. Awesome podcast.
Stories were
New
awesome.
York basketball.
Were great. And then we were talking, and Carl's such a good dude. So nice. Had a connection to Evansville, which was hilarious when we were talking to him. The Silk Road, man. I always call Evansville the Silk Road. Everybody's been through. But, And
that was a great setup, too, because, then Adam, the editor-chief, he's good buddies with Mike, who we're going to go to next.
Exactly. And Adam, we were talking about Adam, too, because Adam's young.
Yeah.
He's much younger than us.
Yeah, that was cool hearing his story.
But he had such a depth of knowledge of Slam, even though I'm going to say, even though he's only been editor-in-chief or been there for 13 years or whatever, or 12 years. I mean, that's a long time, but he knew a lot of the past issues that I brought up. And, he knew that 95, 96 Iverson cover that I brought up, the one of Georgetown, he's like, man, this thing sold like shit. Like, nobody bought this.
They want NBA.
Right.
That's what he said back then anyway.
So he like knew all that crap.
But now high school kids on there and it'll sell, which is kind of crazy.
That's true. Because social media.
Yeah.
Like,
LeBron.
Well, like Meyer tells the story. I think he's told the story on this pod before that a kid was down in his office and was in trouble. And so Meyer was just trying to get to know him, just try to bridge that gap a little bit and make him feel at ease, and was asking him his favorite sport, basketball, a couple other things about shoes or whatever. And then he's like, well, who's your favorite player? And he's like, LaMelo Ball. Never hesitated. You know what I mean?
That's insane.
And so at the time, LaMelo Ball is playing like over in Australia or some shit.
Yeah.
But it's social media. And then Slam too, because Slam is a big machine that powers a lot of that. They do a great job of getting clips of all those guys out there, and they have their own special high school following and accounts and all that shit. So Slam was awesome.
I could have gotten their ear and just asked them questions about producing the magazine and meeting players and doing those articles and everything, the history of it for hours. I mean, we
were blown away by how quickly they put together the college the all-time college
Couldn't believe
top
it.
100. What'd he say?
A month.
A month.
Yeah, from idea to finish.
And it was cool how they explained the cover. Did he explain the cover on the podcast? I think he did, right?
Yeah.
About the photography and how they try to get people doing what they were known to do. Or was
the
that
magazine.
was that
was on their
after?
specific pages? I can't remember if it was on the podcast.
I can't remember if it was on the pod or not, too, but I thought that was interesting. So
I love that.
I know. It was cool, man. It was super dope. And I went and picked up the new Kobe Special Edition Slam today at Barnes & Noble in
Reading
Times
it on
Square.
the plane.
Absolutely. So shout out again to Slam. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
That was our Wednesday afternoon. And then we came back to the hotel. And this is when shit started to get weird. Came back to the hotel. Other guys went to get some food. I wanted to do some stuff on the computer. We had the throwback event, the throwback pop-up event with Mr. Throwback coming up the next day. So I just wanted to double check, make sure all the packages and shit got there. And the biggest package of all, the first one that I sent, and it came up on our thing that it was attempted to be delivered, but it was undeliverable. And that started a mass panic that you got to be witness to. Can you describe that moment?
Dude, I didn't know what to do. Like, I wanted to try to, like, be optimistic, and, like, you were, I mean, rightly so, freaking out. Like, that was what we brought up here. Like,
I
it was
would
everything. Like, I didn't know what to do.
I very rarely lose my cool.
Yeah.
Cool was
Agreed.
completely lost. I was freaking out. Big time.
Yeah, that started a crazy spiral, which, you know what, luckily, you know, we got a little bit of information from USPS that gave us some hope for the night to get us through the night.
So we could sleep. So I finally got corporate on the line.
Man.
He told me, hey, listen, the box, if it's in, it shouldn't have been sent back to Evansville. There's no indication of that. If the box is in New York, this is the post office it's going to be at. And so he gave us, which one was that? That was the Madison Avenue, right? Post office, the one right across from the garden, because it's where we started, right?
We started at this little one walk-in thing right before that, where they keep stuff, but that guy could not help us at all.
Yeah, exactly.
So, we get up early because we can be there by 8. So
I was going to say before we get to that, so that was like the solace of like, okay, we know that it's either here at Mr. Throwback's post office, his personal post office that he knows is the one that delivers to him, or it's at this big corporate one where this guy's telling us it is. And that was after probably 40 minutes on the phone and
easily
a roundabout way. And
way too long.
Like I had tears in my eyes and was like fighting back.
Oh man.
Getting choked up, and I was like,
and
dude,
like you're like super respectful to people when you're talking to customer service guy. It's not his fault, right? Like
absolutely.
But at the same time, you're just telling him the importance of this. Like, hey, we gotta get this information.
I just wanted to make sure that he was doing whatever he could possibly do on his end to give us any kind of information, while still trying to be respectful and nice to him, but also letting him know how important it is. And when I get to that level, I start to get like choked up because I'm like, dude, my livelihood is in here.
Yeah,
this is everything to me. I appreciate what you're doing, but I have to find this package, and you guys lost it. Like, you guys lost it. I'm looking at the label because I took a picture of the labels of every box before I sent it. I was like, I'm looking at the label. I'm looking at the tracking. Everything is right. 2 of the other boxes I sent got there. They were much smaller. This is the main one with everything in it that everybody wants that's going to be coming through, and you're telling me you can't locate it. But anyways, we get through that. We go down. We meet up with Aaron and Amo. We have dinner, right?
And here's what's
quite a few drinks.
The only thing that is my regret from the trip, we're sitting there and we're watching the last game that they played in the Big East on the TVs instead of walking literally 2 blocks to go to it.
We got into that mode of like blowing off steam though.
Hanging out. I mean, we were having a good time. We needed that.
Right.
But that was our only, we didn't know.
We didn't know.
That would have been our last opportunity to see a game.
Right. Or did we? I think we did know.
No, the mid game. Because we were like, let's go. We can
go.
No,
but the game that got canceled at halftime, we were in the middle of Mr. Throwback's thing, but that was the game that had no fans. The fan stuff.
No, so the night before.
We knew it was the only night, but they allowed fans that night.
Right.
We knew it was going to be the only night.
That's why we had talked about possibly going. So that's my only thing is like we didn't
but
know.
the time kind of got away from us. And really the thing that threw the wrench in that was the package not being delivered because I wasted 45 minutes to an hour freaking out about it.
And by that time it was kind of late. But still, that was our opportunity to get in the garden.
So we have dinner. Amo goes to pay for it because he's a nice man.
Yeah.
And he gets his card back, and we come home, and we're like, okay, listen, everybody go to bed, and we're getting up, crack of dawn, 8 o'clock. We'll be at that post office. We're getting our fucking package, basically. And so we wake up in the morning. Amo starts to get ready, looks at his credit card, wrong credit card. Some Russian dude.
Yeah.
So he's like, dude, I gotta find my thing. So he looks up his credit card statement. This dude has used his card at the same bar, so they got switched. So our tab was on him. His tab was on us. Plus, he took his woman to a sushi bar after that and got some sushi. So that charge was on there. So that's what we dealt with at the beginning of the day. This is 7:30 a.m.
Yep, and he goes over to the restaurant we were at. Catty corner from us. Card's gone. Nobody returned it. Had to cancel it. Whatever.
Amo handled that really well, though.
He was like, you know what? Let's package the most important.
Yep.
So we hot foot it.
Yeah, that was dope.
To the first. I mean, we walked blocks.
Super nice of Amo to just kind of block that out and start getting after it, because I knew if there was one dude that I wanted hunting a lost package for me in New York City, with me, I should say, in New York City, it was Chad Amo, affectionately known as the Angry Leprechaun of the group.
Yeah. He could turn it on quick. Yeah. And you know what's crazy is, like, I had this weird optimism just because from my experience with the Postal Service with normal packages is there's a number on it. It gets scanned everywhere it's touched. And usually they're like, bang, this is just where it is. But we're in the biggest city in the world, and it's caught in the system, and there's some weird flaw with our package for some reason.
Nobody could give us answers.
Nobody could somehow give us
got passed
straight
from
answer.
The little space guy, and he was like, he basically crushed my dreams because he was like,
not cool either. He didn't want anything to do with us.
And he was like, look, if you're going to that postal office over there, he's like, your box might be there, but there's no customer service. So if it's over there, it's just sitting. I'm like, what? Like, I will break that goddamn door down to get that package. So then we go to an awesome post office.
Yeah.
The second post office was amazing, right across from the garden.
Mm-hmm.
That guy really didn't want to help at first because Amo was being a dick. But he eventually came around.
You started the conversation, then Amo just jumped in.
Oh. I think what pissed Amo off is he wouldn't call to the other post office to track the package or whatever.
Yeah, and why not, though?
So weird, but that happened to us like 3 times.
You're right. They didn't like doing that.
They didn't like calling ahead and all that stuff because they probably knew nobody was going to answer. They're going to be put on hold or, the same shit that we were facing. So then we went to another post office. So we ended up so that guy at the Penn Station one gave us the wrong address to the next one that led us to a Domino's instead of a post office. So we get there, and me and Amo are so far ahead of you and Aaron because we're just
you guys were
fury
on
walking.
A mission.
Yeah,
fury walking.
Yes. And so
new phrase.
We're out ahead, so we find the Domino's, then we send you guys the other address. We go there. That lady was super, super nice, super helpful, wrote down everything. She was like, we don't ship out of here.
Yeah, that was just like a small little USPS hub.
That one gave me the most hope, though, because I was like, if it's in here, this building,
we'll go get it.
She has it.
Yeah.
And like I'll walk back there and carry it, to the front for her. So she sent us to the next one, which was the one that we finally found out what became of it, right?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Probably. It was another really big post office.
It was huge. First dude was awesome to work with.
Yeah.
He was hilarious, singing and doing all kinds of crazy stuff. Just a great dude.
He sent us to the commercial pickup and questionnaire,
and that lady was awesome too. And so she kept picking up the phone, like yelling back for a supervisor, and you could hear it on the intercom. And she would pick up the phone and be like, I got these guys that have a pop-up event in New York City in a half an hour, and they need their package. It's addressed to Michael Spitz, Mr. Throwback, and she would give out the address, and she's like yelling into this phone, and we can hear it going all the way through. I need a supervisor looking for the package. Nobody's answering. And so we kept just sitting there. I mean, we stood there forever.
Real long time.
She was awesome. I actually loved her. And she was like, this is how they do. This is how they do me. They don't answer. They don't answer. She said, now watch what I do. And she picked up the phone. She's like, hey, these guys are here for a pop-up. Ain't nobody answering me. I'm going to hang up this phone, and I want somebody to come and call back. I mean, she just starts, like, laying this shit out. Doesn't give any information, just, like, she's basically saying, like, I know y'all are up there. I know you hear me. And so then she eventually got on her cell phone and made, like, a cell call to somebody to help. And then we had 2 people looking for it. And then somebody somehow tracked it. And they were like, oh, yeah, we sent that back to Evansville.
And it's like, the person you talked to, at least the night before, but if not them, the first person who tracked it.
No doubt.
Over by
Why
Square. That they should have had that information.
Why did we have to go to that post office to get that information? Like, it doesn't make any sense. If it's in your system, it's in your system.
Yeah.
And they even knew to tell us that they said the box was damaged, which was complete bullshit. Because I packaged that thing.
I can't wait to see that box when we get it back.
It better be tore to fuck.
Well, I hope it isn't.
No, I hope it is for the USPS because we got ammo ready.
Yeah. Oh man, we might come out real good.
So, anyways, that was our morning. So that was 17,000 plus steps before 11:15.
Yeah, we were tracking it. We did all that on foot. Every post office around that area.
All 4 of us,
Manhattan.
and in the middle of Aaron and Amo on hold with Delta, changing their flights because the games have been canceled, so they were going to go home Friday. But there was 37,000 people on hold on Delta's lines when we finally got through to them. But you and I were just in package mode.
Yeah.
And didn't change our flights, and so here we sit.
And then once we got the package figured out, we're like, all right, well, I'll call Delta. And I called, and there's like, we are experiencing high-quality calls.
High-quality.
Volume of calls.
No,
high-quality calls. No, pissed, scared people. This wait time is over 6 hours.
Yeah. Like, they never called us back.
Yeah, I put my name and everything in. Never got a call. Even called them back that night. Sat on there for close to 2 hours again. And never anybody ever picked up. So, yeah, we had no chance of changing our flight.
I have a confession. I'm happy that we didn't get a flight out of here. I always wanted to stay.
Well, you want to stay. You know what I mean? Like, you just never know how things are going. There were some, like, dominoes were falling like crazy. Like, you just, everything was so, like, up in the air on how
I would say that there was
people were acting in
a 3 to 5 hour stretch where everything was doom and gloom. Not on the 19.9 side of things, but every time we would check our phone at Mr. Throwback, it would be another thing was canceled, another big domino fell, another person was infected, or there was another death. It got hairy there for a little bit.
That's a great segue, though, to Mr. Throwback. In just the couldn't have
breath of fresh air.
No doubt. I was about to say, you could not have been in a better environment to take in that news and to be having a bad day, to be get it turned around, to be at least just experiencing it together. And
so I was not calm on that package thing until I called Mike from the post office, and
shout out to Mr. Throwback.
He's the man, and Gio, his guy Gio. So he was like, I'm like, Mike, I don't know what to do, man. I'm like, it's 70 pounds. It's our biggest package, and I know that I'm not bringing it with me now. Mm-hmm. You have 2 smaller packages there. I know we can make do with some of that stuff. I was like, but I know we have people that are coming through that are looking for the specific stuff, especially Villanova, the 87 Syracuse, Providence, all 3 of which we didn't have.
First dude literally coming in the door as we're still unpacking stuff. Where
Felt
you got
awful.
Providence?
Felt awful. Came in.
Damn.
We had another guy come from Connecticut, 2 hours, traveled 2 hours to get the Villanova stuff. We did take care of those guys, obviously, and we're gonna make it right and get them some free stuff and all that stuff. We've reached out again and to them too. So that's not at all bad, but it's not what I wanted to put out there.
No.
From us, you put your name on something, you want it to come through and be good.
Sure.
So what we did was we made the best of it, right? We put some of that stuff up on Mr. Throwback's website. But anyways, back to him. I called him. I'm like, Mike, I don't know what to do. And he was like, dude, fuck it. Shit happens. He was like, just come on through. He's like, it'll be fun. We'll have a good time. Like, don't worry about it. We'll figure something out. And that guy is just a hustler, man. And I mean that in the most endearing way. And he was, like you said, he was just the perfect dude for that time because he's so energetic, and we were so defeated. We were so down, and I hate that because we are not negative people at all, and we usually bring the energy ourselves. But man, we fed off that dude's energy for the beginning.
And his shop. It's like this tiny little shotgun store, and it is a small nostalgia museum. Wouldn't you say? Sports museum, Jordan stuff, New York stuff, just sports in general.
You can't be in there and hang out with that dude and not laugh 90% of the time because he just hit you with gamer out of nowhere.
He was
fire,
so excited, and he made us feel good about it. Like he was loving, especially the Villanova shorts. He wouldn't shut up about them. It was amazing.
Yeah, but he always goes from like super calm and into just yelling something out. I mean, he is true to who he is, which is amazing. And we had a great time there. We hope that he had a good time.
I hope so.
I think he did.
Yeah, man.
So we're going to set something up with him again next year and knock it out of the park. And we might be doing some more stuff with him before that too.
Yeah, most definitely. And I think it was just fun for us to see the shorts as we had them hanging up in the store.
Yeah.
For me,
and his shit was dope.
Yeah. No, he had some awesome pieces in there.
You got
stuff.
something.
I got me a Champion vintage Warriors Weber jersey that fit me so nice.
I'm not going to lie, I did not see that purchase coming.
I didn't either. For some reason,
and
I saw
loved it.
And I was just
happened.
real happy with it. And with that came 5 packs. 5 for $5, $1 each. 1990, 91 NBA hoops basketball cards.
And it was amazing how much fun it was to just open those, the four of us in here, and laugh at the people that we got. And we should have done a podcast for the opening of those.
We should have done a YouTube video.
We could do that. We
packs.
could get some packs and open some shit. That'd
you think
be fun.
he'll open up a shop early for us?
Remember our guy the YouTube one, the YouTube guy that
opened
got the Jordan rookie,
and he spit on it when he got so excited.
Had gloves on, not to mess it up, and then spit all over the shit.
That was insane. He freaks out when he gets it. It's the best.
We need to do something like that, man. That'd be a lot of fun,
dude. That'd be awesome.
And you got the videotape, the Slam Pod. We didn't even talk about that.
Yeah, we got some footage of that. Hopefully, we'll put some clips online.
Got some pics of me and Throwbacks.
Yeah,
our setup was a little different in there.
Yeah, it was.
It was awesome though, super fun. Yeah, because I got to do a pod. Like that was awesome. Like doing the pods for me with the tournament being canceled, the whole mission became get these dudes on podcast.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, so one of my favorite things about this podcast is just listening to it. I just like hearing all these different people who have a different connection to something as far as basketball or nostalgia basketball, and how you just get into a natural conversation with them. Their personalities come out, and like the Slam guys, and especially Mr. Throwback's personality.
He's awesome.
He's a big personality, but it's fun, man.
I can't wait to work with him again. He's just a good dude. Been texting with him all day today. Just
seems like he knows everybody, too.
He knows everybody because Adam was a buddy. And stories, yeah.
He's always wearing jerseys.
He's just he's a larger than life character. No, how about his starting lineup though?
Tons of starting lineups. He made his own starting lineup with his own card, with his own logo on the card.
Dope. Did you get a shot of that?
It's in a shot in the background, but not a detailed shot of it.
Focused. Yeah. Like I want one of you though.
So I could talk about Mr. Throwback Shop all day.
Go.
You guys are in the middle of your podcast. It might got picked up on a mic, but Nick, Nickelodeon. And it's so loud, that song from Nickelodeon.
I didn't know what the fuck was going on.
I'm looking around like, what is happening? And that's their telephone. It's an old Nickelodeon slime vintage telephone. That's their shop phone. I was like, this is insane.
He had some shit in there.
The
What about the bowling ball?
I knew it. Michael Jordan basketball.
You were obsessed with that
autographed
thing.
Oh, heck yeah. It was
What
beautiful.
was it?
It was a bowling ball with basketball lines in it and Michael Jordan's autographed engraved in it. And it came with a pin. It was like some set. And he tracked it down from some dude, gave him $100 for it or something.
The only thing that Mr. Throwback was missing was some stickers, man. I needed some throwback stickers.
You love stickers.
I do love stickers, man. He said they were coming in, supposed to be there today.
Mike,
we should have went back.
Mike, you need to send us some stickers, man.
Yeah, send some stickers, man. You got to skate while we were there.
Yeah, we went down the street. We were going to get some lunch. Some dudes in the park. We were asking them some stuff about the skate culture there, and it was pretty cool. I got to
That dude was nice,
goof
man.
around on his board for a little bit. Yep, almost.
It was
fell.
cool. You almost ate it on
Yeah, I
that
hit a
crack.
crack.
I got it on video.
Skating's fun.
So that brings us to today. We said goodbye to Aaron and Amo. They took off and they are safely back home.
Well, you had the genius idea, like leading up to that, that you put into place the night before that led to today being so
well.
successful.
So our stuff was for sale at MSG, and so what we figured,
special Big East shirts. that
yeah,
we
the
created.
2 Big E shirts that we did, that you did, that you
Well,
created,
we
created. You take them out of my head and put them into the design, but and help obviously. But we had those, and once it got canceled, I had a hunch because we never worked with our supplier there, our connection there, to get stuff in venue. So that was like the first time that we were doing that, and so we didn't really know how it worked. But with the cancellation, we figured out that we were probably getting that stuff back, and we had such a request, a high volume request of people wanting that shirt, or both of those shirts.
Who couldn't come to New York and get it.
And couldn't
person.
come,
Right.
or who were supposed to be there Thursday, Friday, Saturday, which we're supposed to be at the Big East tournament
And so
right now. That sucks, man.
Yeah, no, and that was the thing. Like, I was so looking forward to. I mean, we put a lot of time, energy, sweat into this. I wanted to meet customers and put this in their hand personally, and like,
I know
that was looking to be sick.
Yeah, for sure. But anyways, I figured we could do like a pre-sale or a pre-order and at least get them up so we can get them out to people. And if those didn't come back from our wholesale people at MSG, we would just produce them ourselves and give ourselves a couple weeks to do it. And then the shit just took off like wildfire. It was nuts.
And it always impresses me, 99's traffic is almost 100% driven by social media response that we can get by our followers. And so when stuff takes off, it's just pretty exciting.
Our followers are legit.
They are. So I was telling you earlier, like, a lot of people on social media, they'll see something posted, be like, oh, I would totally buy that. And they're just saying it because they would want it. But when people say that and 99 actually puts it up, they respond and actually they're going to get it.
It was nuts. My phone's been going nuts.
Yeah, man.
But it's been fun.
Heck
so
yeah.
we went to the garden. We were like, that's what I don't know if that was what you were leading into. I don't know whose idea it was, but we were like, let's take these shirts to the garden in the morning and let's get some pics that we can put out on social media.
That's right.
So we walked down there. It was the only time it was raining.
I know.
It was pouring, but we got some pics. You guys have probably seen them on social media. That helped the shitstorm of greatness.
Yeah, it was like, okay, we got the pick. Let's put it out there and see what happens. And so thanks to everybody who was like said they were going to get them and then actually did.
For sure.
That was awesome, man.
It was awesome. Still for sale right now. So hop on there and grab them before they're gone.
Take care of your March sadness.
Yeah, exactly. Little tagline. Then we just took the day to ourselves, basically. So we were working social media. Obviously, we were tracking orders and all that stuff. We were getting more orders from Mr. Throwback throughout the day.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Texting back and forth, as it turns out, with Nick DePaula, which was kind of cool.
Yeah,
and we just discovered that it was Nick DePaula about 15 minutes before this pod started. I I just knew him as Ian's friend Nick, and then I'm like, holy shit, dude, is this Nick DePaula? Like, this is crazy. So super nice dude. So all of that stuff was happening during just our shopping spree.
Yeah, basically. I mean, we didn't have anything to do. We weren't going to sit in the hotel and do that. Like,
No.
right now, like it was pretty. It turned into a beautiful day. The city's not crazy crowded because everything going on. So I mean, we were just able to just walk the city and go to stores we wanted to check out and just
Went to 9/11.
Wow, yeah, man. That was,
Radio City Music Hall.
Mm-hmm.
Now, most of that stuff was shut down, so
Yeah,
the
didn't go
9/11
in.
stuff we didn't get to experience to the full
Right.
effect, but it was still.
NBC Studios, they weren't having audiences for any shows or anything.
All
like
that stuff was still super powerful and cool, you know,
Yeah.
even though we didn't get to go to the
Just visiting
museum.
the 9/11 site is just kind of humbling. And,
So I have another confession.
uh-oh.
I love New York. Like, it's in me. I love this place.
You're feeling it.
I'm feeling it big time. And I know that's funny, especially with the southern twang that I speak with. That this boy from southern Indiana is in love with New York. Like, I could get used to this place. This place is fire.
Oh, man.
Shout out to Mr. Throwback.
Oh, dude.
I love that dude,
We
man.
are stealing his taglines. We've been saying them ever since we visited him.
I'm going to be texting them to you till the end of my life.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Please do.
So of all the other stores that we went to today, like when we were doing shopping, take 9/11 out of it because that's just a different category altogether. But
Sure.
what was your favorite store that we went into? Because we saw some cool shit, man.
I couldn't get over the level of design and just overall interaction and flow of the Nike store, the one that we went to. And just as you walk in, they had that new running shoe, which I don't really care that much about. But the way that they were like promoting it and all the money that went into like the digital thing that they were doing and having,
But we had a
it was
showdown in Adidas.
yeah, no, that was sick too. That was gonna be my next thing. Is like you walk in and they're like, "Hey, try this out," and they had this like
The only reason I did it is because Amy wanted those shoes that she sent me, and they told me I could get 25%
oh
off.
yeah, and
It was hot as fuck in there too.
something happened in the Adidas store. Their AC was busted. All their workers were like sweating. But then we just do this thing. There's a digital floor, and there's these little hexagons that would pop up, and you had to like jump to them and run to them and tap them, and we were competing against each other.
It was awesome. You
Yeah,
won.
I had the most points.
But it was kind of bullshit. I'm colorblind.
Yeah, that wasn't helpful. Get the blue one.
That's what they kept yelling, different colors, and I'm like, well, shit. What? What? But it was fun. If I had to lose to anybody, I'd lose to you.
Thanks, man.
My accuracy was better, though.
You have better accuracy
That
on
was dope.
hitting the hexagons. I was hitting them faster.
I felt like I was kicking your ass, though, as it was happening in real time. But I wasn't.
I will say this. I wouldn't have been surprised if you kicked my ass. I think about this all the time. Like, knowing you since we were freshmen in high school, play a lot of basketball together. I was thinking about this the other day. Get to just say it. And I'm not trying to, like, pump you up or anything. It's just the truth. Like,
I'm making him
we
say
played
this is scripted.
tons of one-on-one basketball at your house and your court, you know, or just at school, whatever. I've never won a game of 21 one-on-one or anything, I'm pretty sure.
And
Not
you
even
never
worse.
will.
I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna start working out. Hustle. I'll beat you with hustle.
Oh, no. It was competitive. I was trying to win. I didn't want to lose.
Oh no,
that
you're
shit.
always competitive. That's the thing. Like, I just couldn't win.
So besides that, favorite memory, main thing you'll take away from our trip here. And first of all, I want to say I appreciate you coming out with us,
Oh,
obviously, too, in the work that you did. And it was just awesome not having to think about photography, videography, any of that shit, and just let you, anytime anybody asked me anything about a picture, whether it was at Slam, Throwback, whatever, I'm like, yeah, Matt's got it. Like, Matt, do this. Bravo, hit this. So
yeah,
it was awesome, man. I
fun
appreciate it.
to be asked to come along, man. So thanks for having me. Obviously, and I mean, I just took it as my role here to work and to do whatever you guys needed, but ultimately just to document the trip with video and photography and to get whatever we could. So hopefully we can get some of that out. But no, man, it was a blast. My most memorable thing, obviously, is just I mean, oh gosh, it's gonna be tough because
You
it's such
can't-
a weird
it's
trip
hard.
with the coronavirus and everything. It's
So the
weirdest trip of my life.
the one theme that's gonna come out of this is the corona scare,
Sure.
and we don't know how that's gonna end up.
No.
And
And
we might have it right here in this room. We just
That-
don't know.
and the amount of walking we did.
we put in some steps, brother.
We're not too cheap to get a Uber or a taxi or whatever. We're just not.
But
we just were on the go.
I
We
was
just did it
enthralled
ourselves.
with the city though.
Yeah,
so like
we got to see it.
even in the post office walks, which are super stressful with
Yeah.
6 million things going through my mind of we're blowing this isn't going to come out right.
Mm-hmm.
And in that regards, the Big East canceling and stuff did help us because a bunch of our invitee list of LDs at all the schools left with their contingency.
Right.
So they didn't have a chance to like come through, which actually in hindsight probably helped us a little bit save face. But, you know, maybe I read too much into that because
Yeah, you never
it's
know.
me, you know, but yeah, so that was I don't know where I was going with that, but the virus kind of helped us on that part. But
You know, I will say this though. I mean, we had our expectations. That was just thrown out the window, and I'm kind of proud of us. We did the best with what we could, with given all the circumstances.
that's what I wanted to say. The thing that I'll take away from this is all the people that reached out when the Big East got canceled, and they knew that the pop-up shop wasn't going to be as highly trafficked, you know, because the city was kind of shutting down a little bit too.
Mm-hmm.
Not just like good friends of ours,
right.
but customers, fringe acquaintances.
Yep.
Everybody just blew my phone up and our social media up, just saying like, "You guys okay?" You know, I
Right.
feel so bad for you guys, and I'm like, I'm out here having the time of my life. You know,
Yeah.
and I would respond that like, "No, we're all good, man. Don't worry about us."
I mean, once we got through
we're
the
good.
initial shocks of some of those things happening,
Right.
yeah, I mean, we made it. That's just our personalities, though.
Sure.
We're going to, like, make it something good. We're going to freaking get after it and move on to the next thing.
I had a fucking great day today.
That was a fun day, man. I'm exhausted. though.
I'm tired. It's time to go to bed.
Hell yeah.
All right, brother. We're out.
Thanks.
Thank you for listening to the 19.9 podcast with HVS, the High Volume Shooters. For more information, check out the blog at 199.com under HVS. And while you're there, do yourself a favor and pick up some retro college shorts. Till next time.